When I'm working with the green crab, I feel like I'm really contributing to my community.
So many community members are coming together to try and combat this from so many different angles and adapt and mitigate, and that makes me really hopeful.
Previously on Locomotives, we covered the population boom of lobsters in the Gulf of Maine, which is likely due to proper resource management and warmer water temperatures. Another species that seems to flourish in these rising temperatures is the green crab. Green crabs are considered invasive to the Gulf of Maine, where they feed on blue mussels and soft-shell clams, threatening tidal ecosystems and fisheries.
The Gulf of Maine is actually warming faster than 99% of the rest of the world's oceans. And so we're seeing incredible rates of change environmentally and in terms of the species that we're seeing in the Gulf of Maine. The green crab is not something that people have been able to really benefit from at this point in time. They've been around for a while. They're increasing in abundance because of the warming water temperatures. And so what we really would like to be able to do is find a way for fishermen to benefit from green crabs. Okay. It's not necessarily a novel idea to think of diversifying your resources. So for instance, my grandfather started fishing in the 1940s, and he probably fished for at least a dozen different species. And so I think that's really sort of where we want to be now. Numerous species that each fisherman is able to benefit from and access. Maybe green crabs is one of those. Maybe incorporating aquaculture into the repertoire is another, in addition to your main fishery.
Currently, the green crab has no viable commercial market, but Marissa and other researchers are looking for ways to increase demand for green crabs. These strategies include green crab fertilizer, stock, and mints, and would hopefully incentivize fishermen to include green crab in their catch, addressing this invasive threat on the environment while also diversifying the fisheries in the state.
When I'm working with the green crab, I feel like I'm really contributing to my community, because if I can find a way to use this stuff and I can get more people to use it, then we can try to ebb the flow of these f***ers.
Very good.
My name is Allie Wax Adams. I'm the executive chef at the Brunswick Inn in Brunswick, Maine. So starting our green crab ramen stock, I have burnt onions, little raw onions, carrots, Maine kombu. We're gonna add some of our green crab mince. It's been put in through a process that minces the entire crab. This is an intensely flavored, it's almost like super uber umami crab bouillon. Take a little bit of the seaweed that they came from, throw that in there too for some extra seaweediness. And then we're gonna take this poor unfortunate fellow and we're gonna have him die a slow and painful death. So what you wanna do is you get them in the batter. When he bites, he's biting me. While they're in there, they're gonna eat some of the batter and then we'll deep fry them and they'll have nice, delicious batter in their bellies. I don't think it's as much bravery as I think that it's having the opportunity to try it. I mean, we're always looking for the new flavor. They might not be like the most ideal, greatest. It's not like we have an overabundance of truffles that are taking it over. We have these weird little crabs that are really fishy and strong tasting, and what can we do with them and how many different ways can we work with them? And I think this has a lot of really nice applications and it's phenomenal. It really just adds this incredible back note of the sea to everything that you use it with.
Yeah.
Well, that's right.
That's amazing. Something that I've always sort of cultivated for my entire career is really just making sure that I'm working with the people who are impacted by the resource that I'm studying. Those are the people who are actually going to have to be able to mitigate and adapt. We work with all sorts of different fishermen and really try and incorporate their ecological knowledge, their concerns, their opinions, and I think that really strengthens the body of the work overall. What we're seeing now is this incredible increase in aquaculture in Maine. And so we're kind of trying to figure out how that sustainably fits into the future of Maine and fisheries and aquaculture working side by side and complementing each other. It's hard to live in a place where the water temperature is warming faster than 99% of the rest of the world's oceans, right? Like, that's a constant reminder of just the scale of change that we're dealing with, which is immense and unprecedented. That is daunting and can be, nerve-wracking. But at the same time, I see the work that's being done, particularly in a place like Georgetown, where so many community members are coming together to try and combat this from so many different angles and adapt and mitigate, and that makes me really hopeful.